Hey y'all, it's Kim with Kim Dixon Creative. I'm here for TLC Designs today, and I'm making a one-layer Christmas card using TLC Designs Snow Family Fun Mail and Snow Family Fun Tree digital stamps. I'm going to color up this little snow family. It's so very cute. And I am going to make this little one-layer card. I used Silhouette Studio to put together this image. The images come separate, and you can pull them all into whatever design tool on your computer you like to use. I am most familiar with Silhouette Studio, so it's easier and quicker for me. And I can size this up knowing that it's going to fit on the front of an A2 card. And that's what I did. I just pulled a rectangle onto my screen and made it 5.5 by 4 1/4 so that I could make sure that my snow family fit and my tree fit, as well as my sentiment. I even printed out my sentiment. Once I got everything like I wanted it, I was able to then duplicate it onto my 8.5 by 11 because I always like to be prepared just in case I mess up. And so I duplicated it, and 4 fit on the page, which you would expect that to fit. 4 to fit on an A2 on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, because that's how many A2 card fronts you can get out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So, and I printed it on some Express It blending card. I have some 8.5 by 11 size. I also have some 5.5 by 8.5, but I used the 8.5 by 11 piece and printed it on my HP laser printer. I've heard other people use inkjet printers. I don't know. I've got this laser printer, and so that's what I've been using. I've never tried inkjet before, so I don't know, but I do know that my laser printer that takes toner, not ink, works very well on the Express It card blending card, and I don't get any smudging or running of my toner with my alcohol markers, and I've used it quite a few times. I am using my Nuvo markers, my Nuvo alcohol markers to color with. They work well for me at the moment. I'm sure that at some point I'm going to want to graduate to Copics, but for right now my budget says these Nuvos are just fine. Right now I'm using a silver Wink of Stella to go in and color in some of the baubles on the tree. I had a gold gel pen that I wanted to use, but when I tried to use it, realized that it did not work any longer. So Wink of Stella it is. And bless, I've had those Wink of Stella since I started card making, which has been about 5 or 6 years. So they're good. They're good. So but right now I'm just going to color up my little snowmen and their little outfits. Of course, Dad's wearing the top hat, and I'm using my darkest grays to color that top hat in. I don't usually use the black to color with, just because it's too dark, and the darker grays give you the illusion of black without actually being pitch black. And you know, let's face it, snowmen live outside. The sun has probably bleached out his top hat anyway. But I'm just coloring up some of their little accessories, and I'm also taking my lightest gray that I have and I'm just coloring some shadows on the snowmen. You know, white is not really white, and so we give it a little bit of gray for the shadow just to give it some dimension. And so I'm just going along the areas that I think would have shadow on them and just coloring in a little of that light gray. It's odd how when you do that, you know, I can see it because I know it's there, but you get so used to people, or you get so used to seeing images that are white with shadows that you don't even see the gray when you really look at it, when you just look at it. It's almost like it's not there. But, you know, you do need that to give them some dimension and to show that they are round. I'm coloring in a little more of their accessories. I'm moving on to Mom, and I think Mom is very fashionable, and she is going to wear this new trendy teal color that we're seeing everywhere. It's not a new color, but maybe it is for our snow woman. And she's going to have on a teal bonnet and some teal accessories on her belly, and her nose is even going to be teal. And then I think she is going to end up having a red, oh no, her scarf is going to be, it's going to be ombre teal. So she's truly high fashion. So anyway, I've colored the little girl in some bright pink and bright green because, you know, that's what cute little girls in the South wear, a lot of bright colors. I should have monogrammed her little hat, because little girls in the South always have monograms, or maybe monogrammed her little scarf. But she's going to be all ready and fashionable for Santa when he shows up. We're going to get Dad over here into GQ with his green scarf. And then we're going to move on to the little brother, or the big brother actually, the little boy. And of course he's all in blue because, you know, he's a boy, and we're not gonna, we're gonna be kind of basic with him because, you know, little boys don't tend to get too into fashion for the most part. He just needs to look cool when he's playing with his friends. So I'm getting him a blue scarf, and his hat is blue. And now I'm going to go back in with my memento marker and just, you know, the things that I've missed, maybe the buckles or whatever, I'm going to color those in black. Because I feel like that Wink of Stella is the silver that I have, and it doesn't really show up silver. It looks more gray. So I'm just going to use this black memento marker to color in my buckles. And now I've got some sequins. I've got some very iridescent sequins, and some of them are stars. I'm going to put around my card, maybe as like large snowflakes falling down. And I'm going to cut this out with an A2 layers die to get the size that I want to go on the front of my card. Once I get that cut out, I take it over and find a piece of colored cardstock that I like. I found this red colored cardstock, and I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. That's going to give me a side folding landscape A2 card. And I'm just going to score it now and then fold it over and burnish it with my bone folders. I'm just going to really burnish that fold down. Once I get that done, I'm going to pull a piece of fun foam out and cut it down to just slightly smaller than my card front is. I think I ended up cutting it at 4 by 5 1/4 because my card front is a little bit, it's in between that and the full size. And my fun foam is really just the cheap stuff you buy at Walmart or wherever. It's not the adhesive kind. So I'm going to get that glued up, and I really used too much glue because once I put it down I had to wipe some up. But I am going to adhere that to the front of my card panel. And I'm sure if anybody's watched one of my videos before, you know that there's going to be something popped up with some foam somewhere. If I have a flat card, the whole thing's going to get popped up. But because my card base is red, I'm going to also glue in a white piece on the inside so that I can stamp my greeting at a later time, or write my sentiment, or my note on the inside. And I use the same die that I used for my my card front. I've got this piece of dark green ribbon that I am going to tie to the front. I felt like it was still just missing something. It was still just a little bit bland. So I tied this ribbon using my reverse tweezers to hold my first loops. If you don't know that trick, and if you don't have reverse tweezers, you need to get some simply for that purpose. But I just want a small little bow right up at the top on the left corner, and just fiddling with it, getting it like I want it to be. And then I'm going to trim the ends off. I did use far too much ribbon, but I would rather have too much ribbon than get to the end and not have enough to tie my bow. Get those tails cut like I want them so they'll fit inside a card or inside an envelope if I decide to mail it off. And there we have our card. I think this turned out really cute. I enjoyed coloring this snow family. I really appreciate you stopping by today. If you're not a subscriber to TLC Designs, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and share it. Share this video with your friends. Thanks again for stopping by. Until next time, bye.